But when it comes to recruiting, Alabama has just caught its second win, and they've done it under head coach Kalen DeBoer and his right-hand man, Courtney Morgan, who and I think they were so smart for locking this guy up and giving him a new contract. Because this guy, and you'll hear it later on in the show, this guy's been so instrumental in Alabama being able to recruit with the national imprint. What Alabama is doing right now is phenomenal. And it's not about beating Wisconsin and South Florida and Western Kentucky. It's not about that. It's how they're doing it. They're playing an exciting brand of football, and this is so attractive to recruits. Right now, Alabama has literally lit the fuse to the dynamite. If they keep this up, I think they have an opportunity to have one of the highest rated classes in the history of football of college football recruiting. Why am I saying that? Right now, Alabama has the number 2 class in the country. When you go look at where the players are in this class, you have in the on-3 industry rankings, you have to get to the 12th player in the class before you get one from Alabama. 12th. And when you look at the states, it's Mississippi, it's California multiple times. Shout out to Courtney Morgan. Multiple times they're going to get blue chippers from California to come from Cali to Tuscaloosa. Also, when you look at who's playing now, right now, Alabama is playing. There have been 10 true freshmen for the University of Alabama that have played all 3 games. Now, they're not all getting snaps when it comes to offense and defense, but what they're saying is come to Bama, and if you're the best person for the job, you'll play. That sells so well when it comes to when you're recruiting blue chip guys. They all have the expectation that they will play, that they're one of the best, and they'll continue to do that. They'll continue to be that. Well, Alabama is letting you know about 45%, almost half of their entire class last year that came in has played all 3 games. 22 true freshmen have played already. I don't have the stats for comparison, but at Alabama, I know that's not going on at other schools of the same ilk like Alabama, where you got 22 guys that are playing. That's incredible. And let's talk about the New Wave podcast. Previously, when we saw Alabama's players outside of Nick Saban and Alabama football, there wasn't a whole lot of personality. The most might have been that I've seen in a while was Jalen Milroe with the with LANK with Blank. Let a naysayer know that we got, shout out to Reese Davis, right? For letting us know about that last year. But that's the most personality that we've seen, especially from a star at Alabama. Ryan Williams and Jalen Mbakwe, and especially Ryan Williams, being a 17-year-old phenom, which is something that you don't. First of all, he's a 17-year-old balling at Alabama already. Haven't seen anything like it. Has personality for days. I got a chance to interview him a couple of years ago, man. He is just funny. He's just a funny kid. And I call him a kid because he's 17. But also, the way that Alabama has poured into him and said, you know what? Be Hollywood. We're okay with that. I'm not sure if we've seen that in the past where they're saying, hey, Hollywood, you and Mbak, y'all can go do this together. I'm not sure if Alabama has been seen as the fun school. It's always been the fun school because winning is fun. We win a lot, so yeah, it'll be fun. But being the fun school where your personality is encouraged, come be a good football player, and we'll help you with your NIL. We're going to put you in positions to be yourself. We're going to put you in spots where if you have the personality that can carry off of the football field, then we're going to put the ball in your hands for you to carry it. Alabama has a lot to sell right now. Courtney Morgan, when you look at where these players are coming from, and I said it all over. I said it before. And I've got 5-star Dijon Lee who will be here on this show in a little while. But Courtney Morgan is the guy. He's going to keep you in so much. And for him being able to relate to guys from across the country, especially in California, that only pays dividends for the Crimson Tide. Now, why do I say they can have the highest class ever? Is because they haven't even started in Alabama seriously. They still are going to recruit Naeem Offord, 5-star. They still are going to go check on Antonio Coleman, who flipped from Alabama to Auburn and Alabama to Auburn. They still feel like they can go and get him. There are other guys in the state that are committed to Auburn that Alabama just laying back in the cut and saying, if if Auburn doesn't get it together on the field and that class falls apart and Alabama beats Georgia and they're still in battles against Georgia for certain guys, you could see Alabama start the top grade and say, well, this was a guy that we didn't think we could get. What if Alabama gets another couple of 5-stars? What if they improve on that class a little bit because Alabama is going this way and other schools who have blue chip recruits aren't going, their season isn't going the way that they expected and that recruits expected? Then you can see Alabama say, hey, you're doing all of this right now. You got the number 2 class in the country right now, and your 12th best player is from Alabama. Man, imagine that for Alabama just to add on in that class because of what they're doing on the field, how they're doing it, and with some assistance from possible. I'm not saying that Auburn's going to, they could keep that class together. But if they do implode, and I'm not saying they will, but if they do, Alabama could possibly field the best recruiting class that we've ever seen. And right now, it's due to the new wave.